Good evening. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Tonight, classic Star Trek film, First Contact, which may be the best Next Generation movie that there is so far. Age Boomer, as always, here tonight. And special guest, Chris P. First time coming on a rewatch show. How are you, sir, Chris P.?
I am doing well.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad you suggested this film. Or did I suggest it? I forget which way it was. But anyways, I've got a new appreciation for the score since I started researching it. I watched this movie once when it came out. I hadn't seen it since before this week again. And I've got the soundtrack. It's in the library, but that's about as far as it is. But I have to say, I have a newfound appreciation for it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yep.
What was your experience with this film for the first time?
I saw it in the theater when it was first out, but not initially the first weekend. I think I saw it a few weeks after it was out. And then I remember seeing a guy at work talking about it. I was like, I should go check it out. I was like, it's a pretty good movie there. I had heard about it had the Borg in it, so I was like, should be good. So I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good movie and probably the best of the TNG movies.
Were you a Star Trek fan your whole life, or were you kind of like hit or miss? Or
I remember watching the series off and on when I was a kid because my parents would watch it. No episodes in particular, just remember the series itself. And then when the Next Generation came on, it would be a family thing to watch that every, I don't know, this is either Saturday and Sunday it was on, but I remember watching that growing up.
Yeah, a lot of people saw TNG as family night. That was a family show. The whole family would gather around to watch it. Many people have admitted to that. Yeah.
What about you, Boomer?
I believe I saw this opening weekend. My friends really wanted to see it. I tagged along. I mean, I was a Star Trek fan too, and I remember the Star Trek contingent of my area was out in full uniform in the theater. Okay, in fact, I remember because I recognized one of the women. She was an older woman. She was in my speech class in college, my first year of community college, and she talked about her speech was on how she belonged to the Star Trek group, and she even had the full uniform and everything, And they were out for the movie too, so I kind of recognized her. It was a pretty packed theater, but everyone was respectful. They all enjoyed the movie. But yeah, I remember seeing this in the theater. Yeah.
Cool.
How about you, Birdman? When did you see it?
I saw it opening night after work, so probably the 9:30 showing.
Yeah.
And then I drove home, which was an hour away at that point, so I got home probably a little after midnight, back when I could stay awake past 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. It's hard to stay awake much past 10 o'clock now. So
well, he has a morning job, right? So that's part of the reason.
I just wake up. It doesn't matter if I got to work or not. I just wake up between 4 and 5. So
no midnight movies for you.
Not anymore.
Okay. Anyways,
I was so thrilled when they started having 8 o'clock showings, and then they pushed it back to 6 o'clock. And then with Avengers, they're maybe we'll start at 4. I'm like, cool, appreciate that.
I watched a midnight movie last night. I think it was Dr. Sadism's House of Torture or something to that effect.
Oh, so you had a date last night?
No,
yeah,
by myself,
no
all
date?
by myself.
No?
Christopher Lee was in this movie. Great Christopher Lee was in this movie. It wasn't that good anyway, but I got this box set of Christopher Lee movies recently, and that was one of them. And I'm watching the torture. I don't know. It was Dr. Sadism's Torture Garden. I don't know what it was. It was something like that. Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Have you seen? Have you seen the Sideshow's coming out with a premium format figure for Dracula and Van Helsing from the Hammer films?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they'll probably be 600 apiece.
Oh, well, I'll look at them.
They have a payment plan. There's a payment plan.
No, I came close. I don't know if it was Sideshow or something else. They had the Tarna figure from the movie, the animated movie Heavy Metal. Yep. They had a Tarna figure. Yeah. I was tempted with that figure. I was tempted, and they said nope.
Oh.
Big Al, A.G. Poop.
I will say this: I've bought some hot toys, and they come in the mail, and I open them up and I look at them, and I'm like, these are really cool. I put them back in the box. I put them back in the shipping carton, and I put them up, and they stay in the closet.
You know what you need? You need a nice big glass case.
I do.
To put them in.
That's airtight. That's
airtight. No dust. That way you
dust.
can show them off in all their glory.
I know. Because if it wasn't for the dogs, I'd have them out. But I have to clean house really like twice a week, and they would just get because they got cloth clothing and everything. And they just get ruined.
No.
You know what? So, you could you could have a friend over, and the friend could point to the figure. Hey, and he said, "Don't touch it." And he says, "Oh, I wasn't touching. I was pointing." Well, don't point. Okay.
Yeah, don't point.
Yeah. The tag stays on it. Do not remove it.
Yes. So anyway, here we go. We got Star Trek 8 First Contact. I'm excited. This is the Borg. Resistance is futile.
And let's just welcome the chat real fast. Big Al Presents, getting all fancy on us for this first line tonight. Chris P's in the chat and in the show. Good job, sir. Melissa Harrison Sons, thank you so much for coming. I was in the chat. And Zootopia. And hey, Sir Ian's here. How are you, sir? Good to see you here tonight. I hope you had a good day. I guess it's tomorrow now for you. So.
Yep.
So was this was before Phantom Menace came out? So was this like no?
Yes.
But I think also was Insurrection. Did that also come out before Phantom Menace? I believe so. So
yeah, First Contact was 96. And
they must have knocked these out. I'm trying to remember. When was the Generations? 90.
Like 2 years apart.
Every 2 years.
94.
Yeah. 94. Yeah. Okay. So they knocked these out. They did knock these out. And then I guess first Insurrection was 98. 98, yeah, okay. Because I remember I was talking to some guy in a store, and he was like, they couldn't get ILM for Insurrection, but they got a good effects team, but they couldn't get ILM because they were busy on the new Star Wars. That's what he was telling me. But I remember that. But they had ILM on this, I guess, right? So
yes.
Industrial Light Magic, yep. Cool.
Well, shall we start the film?
Might as well. Is everybody queued up?
Let me get my other headphones in.
Now, for those of you who have Paramount Plus, it's available on Paramount Plus. Not that
is this on Paramount Plus, by the way?
Yes. And I know people are thinking, well, of course it's on Paramount Plus. You would think this. Yeah. Why is like the Godfather movies? Why are they on Hulu? Why are the Aliens movies on HBO? Nothing makes sense. But anyway, in this wonderful streaming war, I thought
it's mass hysteria.
You buy the Fox streaming service, it should have Aliens on it, but it's not.
It should.
You buy the Paramount streaming service, and there's no Godfather. I'm just saying, okay.
And where is Indiana Jones now for streaming?
I have no idea. I know it was on Netflix for a while. It might be on Paramount Plus. I don't know. I'm not going to hunt for it now because I got my thing queued up.
I've got Netflix because my sister likes it, so I guess I'm a good brother, and I get free HBO Max with AT&T. But I'm not buying it. I'm not signing up for anything else. It's just.
No, if you ever want to do a Godfather rewatch, of course, that'd be a long movie, right? But
that would be a long movie.
Anyways.
All right. I'm at the Paramount Mountain with no words.
I'm at the 1 second mark. So are we going to do the 1, 2, 3? Okay.
Yeah. All right.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
2, 1, play. And I've said it before. I miss Paramount Pictures. Whatever happened to them? Why don't they make movies like they used to?
Well, they make stuff. They
like the Mission Impossible films.
I enjoy them.
Yeah,
I know.
No, go ahead.
You were gonna say?
I was gonna say MCU started on Paramount.
It did
before Disney took over. And there's a noticeable difference in the movies too. You can go back and watch them.
I remember back in the day when the Star Trek fans would keep attacking Rick Berman. Rick Berman, come back, please. I'm sorry. At least
I
this
will
is
say this
entertaining.
about the opening theme here. This is Goldsmith returning since 5, and before that, the first one, the motion picture. And before, when he had the theme, it was like bump bump da 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 da, you know. And on this one, it's much more sedate, and it's much more hopeful, I think.
I am wondering why it's sedate. Is this to kind of ease us into it before the big action starts? Because this starts out kind of in the midst of another Borg invasion of Federation space.
Yeah.
And if you remember on the show, the last time this happened, a bunch of Federation ships, and I think even some Romulan ships got destroyed. Remember? That was the Borg were terrifying on TNG.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think they're more scary in this film though than in the TV show. They look a lot creepier.
Yeah, well, I think they've had a chance to update the design. I will say this. I'll have my first nitpick, and they're not going to be many, but I feel like that Borg cube is taken out way too easy. But maybe I'm nitpicking. Okay, maybe feel free to argue with me. I'm just
Maybe the Borg didn't care about the cube because they didn't need it anymore.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe that was a distraction. I didn't think about that. Plus,
And
they're opening up
Sarian-
that time portal. Maybe they were distracted by doing that too. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sarian,
pretty convenient.
What's your first favorite Goldsmith Star Trek theme?
Mine?
Is it the first one or this?
Yeah.
Sir
yeah,
Ian.
Sir Ian.
And while we were waiting for his answer, Chris P, what's yours?
I like the Goldsmith theme from the motion picture, but I remember seeing that as a kid,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of first love Star Trek music.
I have to say that Goldsmith theme for motion picture is really good. I think 2 is still my favorite, but I do love how the motion picture starts out and it has that. You don't even see any space; you just see the credits, and it doesn't matter because the music just carries it that well. So I can see that being someone's favorite. Yeah, it's up there. I mean, I have both scores to both 2 and 1. So
You have you got the 3-disc set for the motion picture?
no, I just have the regular 2-disc set, and the second disc isn't even
Okay.
soundtrack.
Okay, excuse me.
I know. Maybe I'll pick it up one of these days. I don't know what they left out. I'm kind of curious. All right. I kind of like this because we're seeing stuff on a scale that we couldn't really see on TNG.
That's true.
You're really seeing how vast the Borg are. I mean, this is terrifying. Yeah. This is like a different kind of terrifying than something like Alien. This is just, I don't know. This is perfect Star Trek villains, the Borg. It's perfect TNG villains, definitely.
Did anyone have the hots for the Borg Queen?
I think just you, Daniel.
Big Al, come on, Big Al. I thought she was creepy, but I bet Big Al did. Come on, admit it, Big Al.
I'm sure the actress playing her is lovely. She has nice cheekbones. It's just the fact that she's a torso that gets stuck on random bodies. And she's slimy. Let's not kid ourselves here, okay? She's kind of slimy.
All the wrong places.
I know. It's like,
well, H Boomer, I was going to be nice. I was going to go buy it for you from La La Land, but it's out of print. So
what's out of print? The TNG 3-disc. I'm fine, thank you.
No. The motion picture 3-disc.
No, that's like, oh yeah, sorry, motion picture.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so here we go. We got. So I like this. Starts out. He's still having the nightmares about being a Borg, and
I still have nightmares about 5th grade.
Crispy, what did you think of the new Enterprise when you saw it?
I don't remember, but I mean, overall, just even looking at it right now, I like the design. It's more sleek design than the D, which was more kind of short and round. This one's a bit linear. So sharp, a bit more sharper looking.
Yeah.
And
They probably want.
And this is the Sovereign class, if that means anything to anybody. I'm sure Big Al can tell us all about it. Are we still buffering, Melissa?
I'm okay. You look okay on my end. Of course, actually, I'm on StreamYard, not on. Let me check out how you look on YouTube. I better mute this too. I have a question. Geordie without the visor. What's going on there?
That just happened like that. They never really explained it. It just boom, there it was.
Yeah, it's like they jumped from Generations with the visor to First Contact. He's got implants in his eyes.
I mean, it's fine. Did they even address it at all in the movie? I'm trying to remember.
Nope.
I
Nope.
would have liked them to at least bring it up, like, oh, I have these, because I mean, I guess he's still. Does he wears the visor in future movies, doesn't he?
No. It's
No.
this
He's done with the
eyes from
visor.
here.
Gone.
But
Gone.
they could have explained it. That's all. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Maybe it's-
Okay. H Boomer. It's going for $130.
Yeah,
on eBay now.
you know what? The set I have is fine, Daniel. I'm all right with it.
Okay.
I'm all right. I'm
That's
fine.
good because Birdman's pockets aren't that deep.
No, you don't gotta buy me no soundtrack. I gotta get you something at some point. But anyway, what was I gonna tell you though? It's interesting the contrast I almost think between Picard and Severin Cochrane, right? Picard's listening to classical pieces, right? And what is the guy that basically birthed the Federation, or at least the humanity's
Rock
future,
and
listen
roll.
to? Rock and
Yep.
roll. It's like
Rock-
the exact opposite. It's like,
He loves his rock and roll. He likes to drink, and he likes to dance to his rock and roll.
yeah, he's like the opposite of Picard in some ways. Like what is it? He's drinking liquor. Picard has his Earl Grey tea. It's
He's maybe a bit more relatable.
maybe.
I really just need to start buying like triplicates of everything that I ever buy.
No.
And yeah, I know I do. And just put two
No.
of them back, and then just like in 3 years, like sell the stuff.
I guess you could make some money, yeah, but
Yeah, I could.
don't be a
'Cause I just-
scalper.
I just bought. It's not scalping if it's sold out. It's no longer in print. Because I bought the motion picture set like a year ago at regular price, and now it's $150, $140, $190, $140, $110. So
Imagine being in the theater hearing the Borgs yell and surround sound, right? They will simulate you.
creepy.
Yeah, they are. They were formidable.
Are we still buffering?
Let me check on my
anybody?
end. I think you look okay.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any swirling lines or anything.
Okay.
Young Neil McDonald there. Old Dum Dum Dugan.
No kidding.
What? Really?
I
He still
thought
has
that
the
was
visor?
him, but I said he was too young.
Oh, he was 22 or 23 when he made this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Who is that?
From Captain America, right?
Yeah, Dum Dum Dugan. He had the what was it? Bowler hat. Yeah,
He had like a handlebar mustache too,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So you may not recognize that's him. I know the actor. I'm just shocked. Yeah, it did look like him, and I'm thinking, but he's so young, it can't be him. But I'm realizing, this movie was made a bit before Captain America, so okay.
And realize that they have 3.5 hours to fly at maximum warp to that battle. So when they come in, the Federation's pretty beat up.
I can imagine. Oh, Earth. They've been wanting Earth.
And there's the Defiant.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was happy that they figured out a way to bring Worf into this movie, but still have him stay on Deep Space Nine. Yes, he's just along for the ride, and that's fine.
Yep. And you notice the Worf from Deep Space Nine later on, you get the Doctor and Neelix from Voyager making cameos, except Neelix without his makeup.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
And there's that Klingon theme that Goldsmith did for the motion picture.
Yeah. It's a good theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brings in the TV show theme right there.
Yep.
Yep.
And Jerry Goldsmith didn't do all the Star Trek music, but I always associate him with Star Trek. I don't know if that's fair for me to do, but
No, it's one of his important scores. Go, yeah. You're saying, Crispy?
I was gonna say all's fair in love and soundtracks. You can associate soundtracks with whatever movie you want.
I think for me with Goldsmith, it's Alien. That's the big score I associate him with. I think out of all of them, that's the one that implanted itself best in my head, I think. But yeah, no, Star Trek's a good one too.
Melissa Harris says we're buffering bad. What can I do about that? Is that
the only thing you can do is get rid of your face and go to maybe a image? But I don't see you buffering on my end.
okay?
So I don't know if it's just her. Anyone else in the chat have buffering issues? Let us know. The only thing you can do is maybe get rid of your face and maybe leave and come back in. But I don't know if it's. I don't know.
Is it? See, I always wonder if it's me or if it's just like the internet or.
The only thing Troy told me is if like you have a lot of people on screen with actual video, it has a problem. But it's only you tonight, so I don't know why it would be giving us an issue.
Yeah.
The only other thing you could do is maybe just go to a static screen. But I don't know. It could be her internet as well. I don't know because I'm looking at YouTube on my end. It looks okay.
It was buffering a bit on my tablet, so I just turned my tablet off. Sir Ian brings up a good point. Jerry Goldsmith's son Joel did a lot of the cues for this film. He actually did, according to my research, about 1/3 of the music in the film. He did all the main board cues and the Flight of the Phoenix cue. He did that as well. Jerry Goldsmith was scoring The Ghost in the Darkness, and production ran long, and it cut into his time to do Star Trek. So he had to get his son to come in and help.
Do you still know how to fire a phaser? Remember that?
He's like giving this look. He's like, "Ah, they hit you."
He's being fun. I like Jonathan Frakes in this movie. He's funny. Riker. I always thought Riker was the most underrated character on the show. I know some people they like to attack Riker, but he was one of my favorite crew members. He's true. He does sometimes the things he does makes things worse, but I don't know.
He has a very relaxed air about him.
Well, no, but he can be stern too. I think they argued in some ways, like they reversed the Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock character types. Like Picard is more the Mr. Spock and Riker's more of the Captain Kirk. Do you understand? It's like Picard is more measured and thoughtful, and Riker is more of a man of action. Do you understand? And they sort of reversed it for this show. But and why is Beverly Crusher? Is that blonde hair? What's going on there?
It's just lighter red hair, I think.
Okay, maybe she's been out in the sun. Okay. I have red hair. Your hair can get bleached sometimes a little bit if you're out.
I noticed rewatching it earlier. All the oceans on Earth are emptied.
Oh
wow,
that's terrible. I am going to say this. It's interesting. In this, Picard is time traveling back to stop history from being changed, whereas Kirk time travels back to stop something that was going to happen, and they forbidden the time travel. It's like a reversal of that as well, you know, in Star Trek 4, because Kirk kind of, in some ways, disobeys the order not to do time travel to go get the humpback whales to bring to the future. But Picard, he's trying to fix something that was changed that shouldn't have been changed to begin with. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting. So we have Zephyrin and Lily. I actually like this makeshift town they have. And apparently this is after World War III?
Yep.
So I guess humanity's trying to rebuild. And it looks like the housing is built out of like old war materials, you know. It's
yeah, a lot of salvage stuff they just probably found here and there and put it together. And yet they still managed to keep making booze and find a working jukebox.
You know, think back to World War II. They needed the booze and the music probably too. Them too.
Sir Ian's bringing up the point about Jonathan Frakes directing this. This was originally offered to Ridley Scott and then John McIntyre, and they both turned it down. But can you imagine a world with a Ridley Scott Star Trek film?
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been interesting. They probably would have given it to Ridley Scott because of the alien angle, and the Borg are kind of creepy too in that way. But I don't know. I think Frakes does a good job. I mean, he's a veteran actor of the show. I'm sure he directed some episodes, and I think he's, Nimoy directed some of the better Star Trek movies too. So it's it makes sense you get an actor.
Well, Al is saying we are buffering as well.
Okay, well that works. Let's go to your static image, see if that helps.
Oh, I did that like 5 minutes ago.
Well, see if it keeps buffering. I have no idea. Blame Elsa. Is Elsa hitting you at all? Okay. All right, they blow up the cube thing too, so they I don't know. So you might be right. Maybe the whole Borg cube and the thing are distractions for the Federation. I didn't look at it that way, but that makes sense.
I mean, their whole mission was to go back in time. I mean, so why care? And the Borg never really have cared about their people.
No.
Yeah, because it's a hive.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about the clean, the collective there.
Now, in this movie, everyone is having a new uniform in full effect, right? So, did we like the new uniforms?
I did. Yeah, they show up on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, like in the very, very next season, right after Generations came out. Hey, new uniforms. Which I think would make sense of but they hadn't started the war with the Dominion yet, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
And Sir Ian brings up a good point. James Cromwell's 9 feet 3 inches tall in real life.
No kidding. Wow.
I think he's joking a bit.
He's tall. He is a tall man.
Yeah,
oh my
I'm still
goodness.
buffering on my tablet.
Whoa. No, it just stopped on my end. Hold on. An error occurred. Please try again.
I can still hear you.
No, I'm talking about on the YouTube side of things, though.
I just got... Oh, I was going to show up, but then I remember I'm off screen.
Okay, you're back now. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I think maybe it's a YouTube issue, not you. No, on the YouTube side of things, this big error message popped up. All right, well, we seem to be back to normal now. I'll keep looking at it.
Okay.
You still have your Sir Ian coming up.
Yeah. And are those Steyr Augs? They look kind of like Steyr Augs from that angle.
Data, let me handle this.
Oh, Ian says things seem fine in the UK.
we got to maybe I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't think it's anything you did. I think it's something else going on. But it seems back to normal now.
If it's buffering too much, I certainly understand just tapping out and coming back later if you like. I know buffering annoys the piss out of me, so if I could fix it, I would. I don't know what to say.
Oh, that's interesting. So they all got radiation poisoning from something getting a shot. Okay. So this is interesting. Someone from the present has to go up and is on the Enterprise, and then we have people from the Enterprise hanging out on the Earth in the past. So it's kind of like you get two people on two different sides of the pond. Two different periods of time seeing each other's things. Okay, so here we have Geordi. I don't have a problem with them getting rid of the visor. I just wish they would have explained what happened. Okay, it's
it was an upgrade like the uniforms. They
That's
just appeared.
fine. Just say Like, does he still have the same vision he had with the visor, or is it just like, or can he just see?
Show a
Period?
clip of it. They do show a clip of it in the
All
film
right.
of how he sees.
Okay.
You know, the budget for this was $45 million, and the box office was $146. They say this was the most successful Star Trek film up until the new and improved J.J. Abrams version.
Yeah. Well, this is a very action-orientated movie too. Probably more so than many of the Star Trek movies I've seen.
And it's got 92% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Hmm. Here we get Picard's love of history.
And speaking about history, they were originally going to set this in the Renaissance era and have Data become Leonardo da Vinci's pupil. But
What?
Patrick Stewart's, yeah, true story. According to the internet, which has never lied to me, but Patrick Stewart said, "I'm not wearing tights." So
wait a minute, the Borg are going to go back to the Renaissance?
yeah,
No,
for a reason.
no.
Didn't they
Tell me
really
what I
do?
read.
Yeah, didn't they really do something an episode like that with Q made him dress up like Robin Hood and his band of merry men?
Yes,
Yeah.
so tights in that
kinda-
episode.
And,
Yeah,
and Worf said, "I am not a merry man."
I remember that. Wait a minute, isn't he a Shakespeare performer? He's never worn tights. Come on, it's. I like this new Enterprise. It's a good model, I think. So you know, as soon as Geordi says, "Hey, why don't you see what's going on with the climate controls?" Right? And I'm like, "Something's wrong," you know. Don't go crawling into a duck calling out your crewmate's name and he doesn't answer. Don't go crawling in there.
yeah. Isn't that one of the rules from a horror movie somewhere?
I think so. And they've just had a big fight with the Borg. They can't be. They have to be somewhat suspicious. Come on. It's the Borg. It's. Now, Siskel and Ebert really like this movie.
Yeah.
They
Sir
really,
Ian
Mm-hmm.
brings up a good point that this was filmed in a real missile silo.
Oh, neat.
That's interesting.
Cool.
I didn't see that anywhere.
You know, there are people who have converted missile silos into houses.
It's pretty cool.
I didn't know that, but I've seen people converting homes from just as crazy other things. I saw a lighthouse as one, and a submarine as another converted to a house.
Huh. I always think it's kind of neat, you know, redoing something that wasn't meant to be a house and make it into a house. That's
Yeah.
And that is actually a title track on the soundtrack, the Celsius degree number.
oh.
Yeah, 92% humidity, man. Ugh.
I think that's what it was here this afternoon when I got home.
You didn't ask me what I'm sipping on, Daniel.
Probably a peach snapple tea.
No, I got a root beer because that's the official
Oh,
drink of
okay.
Starfleet cadets.
Okay. What about you, Chris P?
I'm not drinking anything right now, but I'll be getting something soon.
Yeah. So who gets left out of the fold in this movie? They can't ever accommodate all the characters in these movies. So I think it's Beverly and Deanna Troi. They don't get a lot. I mean, they're on screen at least, but they don't have their own little moments, I think, do they? I mean, Beverly kind of here, she's in the beginning, she kind of gets to do some stuff. They have her. In fact, my favorite part's coming up with the hologram.
Yeah, you're right, Age Boomer. It's Beverly and Troy.
Yeah,
they're just kind of there as support.
Yeah.
And there's the doctor from Voyager.
I loved it when he showed up because I'm thinking, of course, they have a new ship. They're all retrofitted with this assistant doctor, and of course, it's going to be Robert Picardo. Forgot his name again from Voyager. I'm sorry, it's been so long, but it's
the doctor. Does he have a name?
No, in Voyager, they just call him the doctor.
Oh, okay. I like this. Boric implants can cause severe skin irritations.
Yeah, Zootopia says it's buffering for him and he got kicked out.
This is very bizarre. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Did you set the stream for 8K?
8K? You mean like the 47?
No, like 8. No, you know, now there's 4K, now the 8K. And they were just joke. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I'm watching on our end. Nothing's popped up on my end as far, but something was popping up a little while ago with that weird error message. But I believe our goal should be to puncture one of the plasma coolant tanks. Oh, Daniel's not here. Maybe he left to try and come back in. So, Chris P., did you ever get your hands on one of those rifles?
Unfortunately, no.
That'd be a cool prop to buy. You know, these are. Yeah. In fact, I don't know. Have I ever seen these on an episode of the show? But it makes sense. They'd have some heavy-duty weaponry just in case. You know, and that's. I think are these tailor-made for the Borg? Those weapons? I think they were even mentioning how they're made so when you shoot them, they. Oh, he's back. But I think they can keep altering how they shoot or their weapons so the Borg can adapt fast enough. I'm wondering if those were made specifically to combat Borg. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering since they assimilate some of the ship or part of the ship that they are able to help them adapt it quicker because it seems like they don't get very many shots off before they're able to repel the blasts.
Yeah. So it's supposed to take up to 12 blasts. Is he flirting with Deanna Troi there?
I think he would flirt with anyone.
Yes.
So Sir Ian says on the Blu-ray there's a tribute to Jerry Goldsmith. Which is that a special edition Blu-ray or is it the most recent? Because that would be interesting to buy just for that, for me at least. And Melissa Harris said, "Who played the wolf on the first Howling?"
Oh, Robert Picardo was in the Howling. He played the guy that had the smiley stickers.
Okay.
He's the one that gets the acid thrown onto his face.
The Howling has one of the best horror movie endings I've ever seen. That brilliant scene in the bar when they're all looking at it happening live on TV, and then there are people that just refuse to believe it, even though they've just seen it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then you get the reactions from the people watching it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, there's a scam or whatever." They're pulling that, and I'm thinking there are people out there that could see a miracle right in front of them, and they wouldn't believe it. That's what I took from that, or something of the, paranormal. They just won't accept it. It's.
Thank you for that information, Serena. I think I'm gonna go to eBay right now and buy me a Blu-ray.
Actually, no, Daniel. If you want to get the Blu-rays of these movies, they can have some decent sales even at places like Target. You can get all of them in like a set.
Oh,
Chris P,
all of them?
all the TNG movies in one set, and all of
Okay.
the original crew ones in one set, and you can usually get them for cheap sometimes. I'll let you know if I see anything. Okay.
Okay.
But Star Trek you can get for bargains sometimes. It's pretty cool. I don't own this movie on Blu-ray, but again, I have Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
Indiana Troy is out.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are many times they had to shoot this scene before they stop laughing.
I'm sorry. I like him. I like Suffering Cochran. And I'm thinking, too, if you think about him and the other characters in this movie, they've just been through probably a very nasty war, probably a depression, and, can I just go to the bar and listen to some rock music and get a load on and whatnot? That's probably all they're thinking about right now. And I...
What?
You okay there?
Yeah. One thing, Age Boomer, one thing I noticed about when it showed those first two crew members get assimilated, you didn't see anything. It was almost horror-like. And then they do show what happens to them, and it really almost is like a horror movie when they get injected with the nanoprobes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna, like, they don't show it, but when they do, it is kind of, whoa, that's not good.
Yeah, and they never quite showed it on TNG. You sort of got the hint of it starting, but you never got to see like the after effects, because there's that one scene where Picard gets injected and then beamed off the Enterprise. Remember in that Best of Both Worlds Part 1, and then you see the after, but you never see the in between. It's pretty pretty horrific. Yeah.
Oh, and the scene right here where Data turned off his emotion chip. I remember a coworker talking about this scene. He thought it was pretty funny, and that was one of the things that prompted me to go see this movie. So, and it's also a good continuation from Generations. He installed the motion chip. They couldn't take it out, but now he's able to deal with it better.
Yeah, it's interesting because they never quite knew how to deal with it in TNG, and then they had that thing with lore, so then he decided, okay, I'm just going to put it away, I'm not ready for it, or maybe Geordi was holding on to it, I don't know, and then he eventually puts it back inside him. And I think what they do is Data turns it on and off when he feels it can be used for a hindrance, which I think is interesting. So he's having anxiety, so he's like, okay, turn it off, Data. Okay, it's like... This I always found interesting about the Borg. If they have another instructions, they'll ignore you. They'll just go about their business.
Yeah, until you're a threat.
Yep.
Until you're a threat, yeah.
I don't know if it was in the trivia or somewhere else, but I read that all the beeping lights on not the blinking lights on the Borg is Morse code.
Huh.
What?
Yeah. But you have to figure out where it starts and where it ends. Figure out what the letters are.
So they're instructing each other or something, or maybe it's a coded message for us in the audience. I don't know. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Yes, that's it.
I don't know. Ovaltine survives the cataclysm, and you can still get it from the replicator, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody figured it out.
Oh man. Now they're getting up.
Yep. Yeah, you got their attention now.
I think I remember the first episode we saw them. Doesn't Worf go to attack one, and they're like to manhandle one, and he just throws them?
Yeah.
It's...
Oh, you just knocked that guy out.
Yeah. Worf is in his element here. He's...
Sir Ian, do you think they look too slimy in this film, or are you okay with that? I do agree they do look better, but I know some people who complained that they were kind of slimy looking.
Well, I definitely said that about the Queen, but yeah, they're kind of grody looking in this. Yeah.
When the hulls fail, just snap their neck.
Yeah. See, Data and Worf can do this stuff. I'm thinking the regular humans are just, The Borg always struck me as sort of like the closest you'll get to like a Star Trek version of like Daleks or the Cybermen from Doctor Who. I mean, they're unique in their own way too, but closest I've seen to anything like that. Data gets sucked in.
Yep.
I wonder if Picard is thinking, okay, he's a goner. Actually, no, he comes back for him at the end. But
Yep, there's the theme again.
the Klingon theme.
Yep. And this poor guy.
Oh.
They just inject him and drop him. It's like, yeah, he'll be one of us in a few minutes.
Help. I'm going to say this. Does Picard just flat out kill that guy? I guess
He
so.
was
I'm
already
sure he did.
dead. I mean, let's be honest. He wasn't coming back.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. Maybe it's also you can come back from being a Borg because Picard is living a proof of that. But yeah, it's
Well, I guess best case scenario you can.
yeah. I guess that's a rare. Actually, Picard probably would have told the crew to kill him as well when he was a Borg. Yeah, but
Yeah, well, he says when they're planning, like, if they see crew members already assimilated to shoot them, that they'll be doing them a favor.
yeah.
Hey, I have to cut out for a moment. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like Lily's interaction with him. It's weird because what's interesting about this movie is you're encountering people from our future, but not from Star Trek's future. So they're it's different than like say Captain Kirk comes back to 1985. It's so some of these concepts aren't so beyond them as they would be to us, but it's. So were you scared for Data at this point, Birdman, when you saw us in the theater?
I was concerned for him.
I feel like Data's life is always being dangled in front of us until they finally got rid of him, right? It's like because he's just the machine, right?
Do you feel that was a mistake to kill Data off?
You haven't seen Picard, have you?
No.
Okay.
If I want to waste my time, I'll find another way to do
I'm
it.
just saying his consciousness was still alive somewhere. I'm not going to get into it. You can watch the show when you feel like it. If you want to get it, I mean, part of me wonders if it's because Brent Spiner gets older, but now they actually have technology that can fix that. They have the de-aging stuff, so they could have Data back.
How about this? Data, Picard. Well, Data, you look like you're older. Data. Yes, I decided to age myself to resemble my friends so they do not feel uncomfortable around me.
Oh, please.
Boom.
I'm sure that's what
That's right.
Q's going to say. Q actually doesn't look, and I'll say this for that one preview, Q doesn't, John Delancey doesn't look bad older. Like it doesn't look weird, whereas some of these characters it might, even though he's not supposed to age either, but he just looks like he changed his form a little bit. That's all. I love a good peep show. He's seeing something else, though, isn't he? What I think is kind of funny about Seference Cochrane's vessel, it's almost like a miniature prototype of what we see in starships later on. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
When we finally see it. I don't know. This doesn't strike me as such a bad time to be alive, though. Where Cochrane's from. I mean, granted, they went through a lot of bad stuff, but they can chill out at the bar, right?
Yeah.
It's like- Were you surprised that when you found out who the surveyors were?
You mean Vulcans?
You just spoiled it for everyone in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Spoiler warning.
I mean, it made perfect sense, right? Oh, they're you to make first contact. No, bad guys. No, good guys. They're just out. They think Earth's too primitive, though, to contact until they see the warp signature. That's what happens on Star Trek. If they notice a civilization has warp, they'll make first contact with them, invite them into the Federation, or at least open talks.
Yeah.
I remember in that book, The Last Days of Krypton, a member of the Green Lantern Corps shows up on Krypton and says, "Krypton, you have to stop being xenophobic and isolationist. There's an intergalactic police force now, so the things that happened in the past won't happen to you now. You have to join the rest of the universe now." And then he ends up getting killed by General Zod. Okay, before when no one's around, but. It's funny they actually had someone from the Lantern Corps show up saying, "Look, join the rest of the universe already. We'll offer you our protection."
These shots here of like the Borg's point of view is very interesting.
Yeah, it's creepy. The Borg are really a lot like insects, don't you think? That you just shoot a couple, more keep coming. It's.
I've never been attacked by insects, thankfully, and I'm okay with that.
You've never been attacked by insects. Well, you haven't lived in Florida. Wait till you step on a fire
That's
ant's
right.
nest. Enjoy, okay? They will swarm your leg, okay?
We have fire ants here. I just don't step on their homes.
Then it's a small miracle. You don't even have to even hit a nest. You could just be in their vicinity, and they will send a bunch toward you, and it's not pleasant. And as soon as that happens, get to water, okay?
Get to water, okay.
Take the socks off, take everything off, get to water, and wash yourself off. Oh, find a hose somewhere by. Just do what you have to do. I've been stung by jellyfish twice too. That's always fun.
Yeah, we don't have those in Alabama.
I'm not a big beach person since that happened. Okay, I don't like jellyfish. They're not fun. Apparently, there's some jellyfish off the outskirts of Australia in the Australian Ocean. You get stung by that, you'll be begging people to end your life. Okay.
Wow.
That's how bad it is. Okay, and I don't know if you recover from it or not. So. So were you a big TNG watcher back in the day, Daniel Heron?
I would watch it with my grandmother.
My God, we got that error message again. I'm sorry.
What?
Why is this happening?
It's frozen on my end too.
Well, don't end the stream or anything. Keep going. We'll just have to make do.
I wasn't going to.
Okay. I don't know why it's giving us problems. Maybe at some point during the week, try a test stream just to see if it's. You were fine last night, though, right? You
Yeah.
had any issues then. You had 4 different people on. You even had Troy and. I wonder if this is a YouTube issue or if it's something else. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Let me try a different video on YouTube. I'm curious to see if this is just you.
Wow. Sir Ian, I did not know that. When I was in Scotland, I never saw any of those, and I'm very grateful for that because that would have been freaky. I did see the Loch Ness Monster, though, up in Inverness. I got a picture with him. Well, as long as the sound is good, that's all that really counts, right?
I guess I can't. You're back now. I don't know what was going on there. That's very strange.
Okay.
What were we talking about? TNG. Did you watch TNG back in
Yeah.
the day? That's right.
I watched it with my grandmother every Saturday afternoon at 5:30.
It's weird.
And
They
she
would play
enjoyed
it.
the show.
Yeah, they would play it at different times depending where you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it was 7 o'clock where I lived. Because it was a syndicated show. I remember that. So they would show whenever they wanted. But I remember the day of the series finale. When they had the little marathon
Best
of
of
like
both worlds.
no, the series finale. Is it
Not
All
best,
Good
but
Things?
all good things. Yeah.
All Good Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a good finale, actually. They did a good job with the finale of Star Trek. Here we have her.
Yes. Big Al's favorite space alien creature.
Here's my issue. I understand what the creators are trying to do here, okay? They're giving the Borg a face, basically, something to interact with and talk to. I feel this makes them less mysterious, but I also understand how they wanted a villain, something to focus on. I mean, I think back to the British counterpart, Doctor Who, when you had the Cybermen, you had the Daleks, but even in them, sometimes you'd have a central figure come out, like you had Davros for the Daleks. For the Cybermen, you'd have the Cyber leader who had a bit of personality, even though he's supposed to have no emotions. But it's so I sort of get what they were trying to do here, and why not go with a woman, because they haven't really had a major woman villain on Star Trek at this point, right? I don't think so. Plus, the Queen makes sense for a hive, right? But she is slimy, and I don't want to kiss her. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what disturbs me? They just take her torso and stick it on any random Borg woman's body or something. Is that how that works?
I guess so.
Do you ever think about that?
No, I've never really thought much about the Borg.
Okay,
Queen.
I'm just bringing these things up. Okay.
I did have a crush on Dr. Crusher back in the day, though.
So she could be on Cindy Crawford one day and on Cindy Lauper another. Okay, I don't know. This is just, it's making me think. Okay, this whole thing, the giving the flesh to Data. This is just, isn't this a little weird?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Now the Borg Queen showed up on Voyager as well. Did you ever watch Voyager?
She did. I think she was a regular villain on that, right? Yeah, she would pop up every now and then. She was like Janeway's nemesis, right?
Yeah, and in the last episode, Janeway took her out.
Yeah. But the thing is, they take her out in this and she still comes back. They explain how she can keep coming back.
Well, her consciousness is everywhere. So
this is just weird. Is it like Star stuff? She just floats around. I think they showed her origin on Enterprise as well, I think. Patrick Stewart does have gravitas in this, though, you have to admit. Borg sounds Swedish, funny. She's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if Lily, in some ways, is Picard's conscience in this. What do you think? A little bit.
I think that's a valid observation to make.
And you wouldn't think that, because he's Mr. I'm from the future, where humanity's gone beyond all this stuff, but yet he's acting in some ways at his worst in this movie, so she's sort of the counterbalance, even though she comes from this time where they probably came out at one of the most barbaric points in human history, right? So it's interesting.
Who knows how much 700 meters is, for those of us who don't do meters?
We work to better ourselves and the rest of humanity. Yeah, but
And
you
did
have
we-
heirloom furniture and a big winery, Picard. While
Did we lose
Raffi
Chris
has to
P?
stay out in the desert. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
Did we lose Chris P?
He had to get up for a minute, but I haven't seen him back. He'll pop up in the chat if he's having trouble getting back in. Maybe he had an emergency.
Okay.
I think he just got up for a minute, so hopefully he'll be back. You can send him a message on MeWe if you think something's up. But
Zootopia said he got kicked out, and I haven't heard back from him.
this is very weird. I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't know if it's something on your end or if it's just YouTube, but I've never seen this. So I hate to break this to you. I'm not exactly an expert either, but I think you've done everything you can. You've left and come back in, and you've even made yourself a static image. I don't know what else to do, and you don't want to stop because if you stop, then it's going to mess up it'll mess it up because I think this will still be on YouTube later when you're done. So anyway, back to the movie. Hopefully people aren't getting too frustrated. I feel I get annoyed too, but I just think it's something out of our control at this point. Oh, this is a neat little cameo we got. When he goes to the holodeck.
That's Neelix.
It is. I didn't even recognize it as Neelix. Him as Neelix. Look at that. He's got the mustache on and everything. I'm looking for Nicky the Nose.
Surian, did they ever say like the Borg were created by V'ger or something like that?
No, that doesn't make any sense. I think they have their origin
of Voyager.
Enterprise. They did an episode of Voyager. Well, they've been around for hundreds of thousands of years. Okay. I think they explained the Borg Queen's origin on Enterprise, but I could be wrong. This is interesting. Actually, that's a nice suit Patrick Stewart has on right there. What do you think, huh? The white suit?
I would take that dinner jacket.
Yeah, that's a nice dinner jacket.
That's a good-looking bow tie, too. I like that bow tie.
This is not a good time. Never is for us, Dix.
And that is not a clip-on.
Watch your caboose and dump the broad.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, hey.
Okay. I was worried you got kicked out or something.
Yeah, no, I just had to take care of something.
All right, so we're on the. Do you need a timestamp?
Oh no, the movie kept playing.
All right, this is the Nicky the Nose scene.
Yep.
I actually thought this was very clever because how are the Borg going to react to a Tommy gun, right? It's like,
Which begs the question: why do they not have projectile weapons
on Star Trek?
I mean, yeah, just say computer Glock 19, 50-round mag, please, and
well,
there it is.
Well, okay. Well, I don't know one reason why they don't on I think the whole idea is you start shooting projectiles in space. You're gonna. I mean, maybe it wouldn't break the window, but like I know the big thing that was the thing in the movie Outland. I think when Sean Connery's on a space station, it's like a Western in space. But the trouble is when you start shooting at guys in space, you can blow a hole open and send everybody out. That's
true.
It's very dangerous. Now I'm sure they have protections, but I don't know why they went with phasers. Okay. Because they're cool. They're lasers, okay? You want laser guns, all right?
Well, the energy weapons are probably easier to carry around, too, because you start stacking ammo, that stuff gets heavy real quick.
That's true. Yeah, it's like it's like a lantern versus a flashlight, come on. I am going to say this, though, a favorite science fiction series of mine, UFO. The aliens, while the UFOs had energy weapons, their weapons when they were on the surface and had to shoot at us humans, they were automatics. They were still using bullets. So they had like laser technology for the big weapons, but not for the little ones. So I thought that was interesting on UFO. But Look at this. He's what I remember in school. Learned about this in school. Yeah. He's freaking out. He's starting to freak out, isn't he?
Well, wouldn't you, if you found out tomorrow that you're going to do something that's going to change the entire course of the human species,
Human history, and you're going to be
yeah,
worshipped as a great hero in the future and all this, and just... Reginald Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he had been in more episodes. I think he was the best Next Generation character.
I thought it was a missed opportunity. He should have been made a regular crew member on Voyager.
Yeah.
He could have gotten transferred over to the Voyager right as they get sent out into, deep space. I think he still showed up in a couple Voyager episodes as well, but I think he should have been a regular crew member. That would have been funny if he had been a regular crew member. Because talk about a motley crew, Reginald's on there. I love the episode where he admits he has what is it? Transporter phobia.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't use the transporter, and they're like, "Oh, come on, this is a perfectly common phobia." And I'm thinking, yeah, it's perfectly common until there's a malfunction and you become a pile of goo on the other side, like in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, I kind of get his trepidation. And they're kind of laughing it off. Oh, this is a common phobia. It's like, no, it's not. It's probably the one thing on Star Trek I wouldn't like actually was being transported. It's
didn't Bones? He didn't like being transported either, did he?
No, he didn't.
No,
well, he's a doctor. He knew how it worked probably, and he's like,
you put one wrong thing in the wrong place, and you're all messed up.
Yeah, well, that happened in The Fly.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Ian brings the point that Barkley was instrumental in getting Voyager back home. Yeah, he figured out how to do what do they call, like, subspace communication or something like that, so they could talk with Voyager they're in the Delta Quadrant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they were in the Delta Quadrant. That was Borg territory, as I recall, right? Yeah, that's...
If Borg territory was Delta Quadrant, it's possible V'ger could have came from a different quadrant.
I don't know. I don't know how many quadrants there are. Part of me wonders...
Alpha, Beta, whatever C is. Charlie, Delta. Yeah. What's E?
Epsilon.
Okay, that's a fancy word. What's
that's
F?
it. That's it for me today. No more fancy words.
Okay, well, Gamma Quadrant's the Dominion.
Dominion, yeah.
Wow.
They were they were an interesting adversary too. One enemy I thought they only had in one episode. Remember that when the crew was being abducted?
Thank you.
And experimented on by those things, and it reminded me of like modern day alien abduction story, except done on Star Trek. But they weren't coming from another part of the universe; they were coming from like another dimension and abducting people. I remember that was an episode.
Like in Crystal Skull, right?
Yes, like in Crystal Skull. Thank you. It was done better on TNG anyway, but my point is that they could have even used that as an explanation as to why humans were abducted in the past, because they said, well, we didn't make contact until the Vulcans, so who were they talking about? And then, okay, that might explain that, but
yeah, it was the aliens. They were in a subspace section. Right. The way they described it was like honeycombs, like different cells, and they found the right cell that the aliens that they were abducting, and they were able to rescue the crew members.
Huh. Yeah,
I read Patrick Stewart got sick the first time he had to wear the spacesuit outfit.
I might get sick too. I don't know.
Kind of claustrophobic there.
Watch your caboose disc. Oh, that's a callback to their hologram.
Yep.
So that's weird. In the future, you don't read the dime novels; you star in them and play in them. Okay, that's what I got from.
Yeah. There's that instrument again.
Yeah, that's probably a
Yeah,
callback to Voyager.
I think that's a synthesizer.
I think the reason he's using it for both is that these are very alien threats. Voyager's a very alien threat. It's not like the Klingons and the Romulans, which are threats, but at various points. But they're still a humanoid species or humanoid-like species. You can sort of understand them, but things like the Borg, they're kind of outside of that. You know, they're.
This scene was spectacular on the big screen, very much so.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
I was mentioning to Daniel, what do you think of the whole giving Data flesh part, huh?
Well, he always aspired to be more human. Well, they're making it literal in this case.
It's weird. I know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's like a fetish thing. So this is what real skin feels like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm just. Where did they get that skin from? Are they growing it somewhere in like a petri dish?
They've got Star Trek officers. I mean,
I see. Does he have various pieces, parts of skin grafts from different officers on his body right now? This is just weird.
Yeah.
This is turning into Hellraiser right now. Okay, this is.
Oh, they got the black leather outfits, right?
I know. Yeah, she's got like a black leather outfit. She's like. Giving oneself to be. She's smiling. She's got that wry smile. What does the actress look like in real life? Hold on, I have to see.
Oh, she was in. She had a bit part in Thor: The Dark World. She was the doctor type character analyzing Jane Foster, and they took her to Asgard.
Oh, okay.
She's in that scene. And then she was also in the movie Sleepwalkers.
I know I've seen her. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Is that the one with the cats?
Yes.
Okay, I remember now. Okay. Oh, I feel pain.
There's it.
What I do find interesting about at all this time, he's just basically playing with her, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of interesting, actually, because I thought I'm used to Data getting tempted. Oh, do you like the emotions, Data? I do, and no, he's actually learning to be more human. He's learning how to be cunning, I think. So I have to give him points. Like, this is all a game. He doesn't care about the skin. He's just pretending like he can't tear it off. Don't be. Physical forms of pleasure? You mean like a massage chair?
he was involved with Tasha Yar.
I know.
Season 1. Massage chair.
Oh, it's been since you used them. 8 years. Okay, so it was Tasha Yar. Okay. Actually, didn't he had a girl? He had a pretend girlfriend one episode. Remember the girl that was trying to make it work and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she ended up leaving him, and he just got like, okay.
Okay, yeah, I know. I tried. That's what he said. I mean, yeah. First he goes to relationship advice, Picard. He says, Data, I hear you want to know about women. When I find something out, I'll let you know. He said. And then Riker, of course, says, the rewards are greater than, he's just, shut up, Riker.
Shut up, Riker.
I know, it's just... Right on top of that particle emitter. Okay. So here we go. Hint. Picard is all about saving the ship, no matter the cost. Saffron, you're running away from destiny.
Yeah, he didn't like. He found a tree he didn't like. He's gonna look for a new one.
I don't want to be a statue. I like Riker. We don't have time for this. I'm not going to try and talk. No, just drag him, bring him back. It's like you'll you told him about the statue. It's like oh, we lost Daniel again. What's going on here?
Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things.
I remembered, actually, when I was thinking back to what I remembered of this movie, this was the part I remembered the most, actually. Them on this array and the Borg, and they're in the suits. Because you don't really see this that often in a Star Trek movie, them walking around in the spacesuits outside the ship, even though, people have had to do it, get the stuff installed, right? And other things,
Yep.
But...
Well, if they have to go out in the hole and do repair.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure this is more common than we realize. People having to do this stuff.
I remember seeing, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I remember seeing the behind-the-scene makings for this, where they had green screen, and where it shows Picard floating, where he turns off his boots and floats over the Borg there to get to the other side.
Huh.
I'm wondering how the knew the codes for that. Did he just randomly punching numbers, or
Who?
what? To unlock the maglock there so they can undo it.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yep, look out, dum dum, they're coming for you.
You got one of them.
Yep. He's gonna be floating for a while, or unless he crash lands to Earth.
I'll probably get sucked into the orbit. Yeah, I don't know. All right. What are the Borg trying to do here? They're trying to
Create a beacon to signal the Borg of that century.
Oh, I see. Oh, come on down to Earth. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because that's right. The Borg didn't even know about humans until Q introduced them to them. Okay, in that episode.
Yeah, Worf pulls that pretty easy, and Picard and Hawk struggle.
I think Worf's having kind of a good time in this movie. Okay.
He's like, yeah, I'm done messing with this phaser crap. I'm gonna pull out some Klingon weaponry here.
Yes.
Oh, if there's one criticism I have of that, I think he should have pulled a longer weapon, just so he can get out of the range of that Borg's arm when it slices his pants.
Yeah, I get the impression that, I don't know, he had to have a miniature. I mean, it's not a batleth, it's something else, but it's, it's...
Yeah.
I like Picard. He shoots the gas, and the gas explodes and sends the Borg up. First, I was like, "What is that?" Oh!
Worf's in trouble. Well, sorry, Worf, can't help you. I'm on the other side here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they can't do much, but the enemies are. I mean, it's all slow motion because they're at zero gravity, right? So it's all right. I'm gonna walk. I guess the Borg don't have to breathe, do they?
Nope.
I knew Hawk was gonna die.
Yeah. Obviously, he was a red shirt.
He had red shirt written all over him. I'm like, He's here for a reason. It's to die later on in the movie. Okay, that's what's going to
Yeah. Kind of somewhat go out of hero's death.
I always thought Lily was going to get killed too, because I figured, well, who's she? She could, of course, that would change history, right? So I guess she can't die. Yeah, but anyway.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, Daniel's still gone.
what's going on?
Hmm.
Gonna be a weird stream. Okay.
Yeah, this scene right here is what I saw on the behind the screen.
Is that actually
scene.
Patrick Stewart in there too?
Yeah, it is Patrick Stewart.
Okay.
They have him on wires hanging in front of a green screen, just spinning around.
Cool. Getting here. I don't know. I'm thinking they're going to do it at this point, right? They're getting pretty far. Like they're both racing again. It's almost like a Survivor challenge, you know. You got the
he's
one
back.
Dan, you all right?
Yeah, it said my call was disconnected.
Oh,
I'm like,
weird.
but I'm not on the phone.
This is very strange. All right, look at that. It's lifting off. I like how the Borg are still attached. It's like, well, what do we do now? It's like,
It's like they don't know any better. It's like this is their mission. They're going to see it through to the end, regardless.
oh wait, here we go. Oh look. No.
There's the reveal.
Resistance is futile. Futile. Oh, there you go. Now he's gonna be floating forever.
Yep. Yeah, the Borg gave him a hand.
It'd be funny if he got frozen and the Enterprise finds him back in the future and they're able to bring him back. I'm kidding. It's like, all right, boom.
Don't say that. He's going to show up in an episode of Enterprise now.
Probably.
And hello, Jeff Richardson. Have we seen you before? I'm drawing a blank on your name. Boomer?
I doesn't look familiar. Welcome to the chat, though.
Okay. Welcome to the chat.
Boom.
Assimilate this. Yeah.
Yeah, we were waiting for that moment. He's enjoying himself in this movie.
And the audience goes nuts.
This movie, I kept being worried that they did Deep Space Nine. We weren't going to get Worf anymore in these, but nope, they can just bring him by. Hey, was here on holiday. Oh, you have a mission? I'll join you. You know, just. I got a 4-alarm hangover, either from the whiskey or your laser beam or both.
Melissa, are you asking me if I have a virus? Like, personally, I feel pretty good tonight. Thank you for asking. Does my phone have a virus? I don't know, but twice in the past 24 hours, it has launched YouTube all on its own. So
maybe the Borg have infiltrated.
Maybe
Ghost
the
in the
Borg have
machine.
infiltrated my YouTube account. So
Don't tell me it's all thanks to me. I've heard enough about the great Zephyrin cock. I like what he says a minute here. You want to know what my vision is? Dollar signs, money. I don't even like to fly. Take trains. Wanted to retire in some tropical island with naked women. You know?
So does he have a relationship with the girl or not?
Lily? I don't know. I was wondering about that. They never say. That'd be kind of interesting, though. Well, I don't know about now, but I don't know if one forms after this. I don't know. I think she's just his friend at this point. But who knows? Maybe. That's rhetorical nonsense. Who said that? You did 10 years from now.
Yeah, great. I have to remember that one because I'm gonna have to say it.
I know. You wonder, right? They had the whole thing on what was it on Deep Space Nine? Remember Gabriel Bell? Like he was another one that helped usher humanity past the bad period, and then he gets shot, and then Cisco has to take over his role and pretend to be Gabriel Bell in the time period to start what has to be started.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I remembered that. That was This is interesting. We're going to stay and fight. We've lost the Enterprise. We should not sacrifice.
And of course, Beverly could just step in and relieve him of duty right here.
Maybe. Oh, look at this. You're afraid.
like, oh,
You're a
them smart words
coward.
there.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, he's giving them the look.
I would, if you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand. He meant that when he said that, didn't he? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like an affront. If you call a Klingon a coward to his face, he might be forced to fight you, basically, right? That's like it's like...
Hey, I don't understand why Beverly's not more like, no, John Luke, we're not going to do this. Because in the past, she has stood up to him.
I don't know. Well, like here we have the person.
I mean, that would kind of negate Lily's character, but
yeah, the person. Look, the one from the unenlightened past is now challenging the man from the great future. Right? I like this. Okay. It's interesting because Picard, really think about it, he hasn't, he how often does he usually talk about the Borg, his Borg? Not
Never.
often on TNG. There was the episode right after where he finally has a breakdown in front of his brother about the things he did. And we know he talked to Counselor Troy about it, right? But, like, remember the first episode of Deep Space Nine when he's meeting Cisco, and Cisco was, he was talking to him, but you could tell there was a little bit of animosity because Cisco still kind of saw Picard as remember Picard from being in that battle that destroyed his wife, remember? So that was killed his wife. So, and you're thinking Picard has had to take all that on over the years, and he's had it.
well, that's a good thought, Melissa. My battery does seem to die awfully fast. Do you do a factory reset? Is that what you do?
It might be an idea if this is not going to hurt anything. But I wouldn't do it right now.
No, not tonight. But yeah, I've noticed the battery in this phone is just like crap.
It's about saving the future of humanity. Blow up the ship. No, there we go.
No.
Oh,
this is like mad. This is a great GIF on the internet. Like, no.
Yeah. No, I realize he's got a lot of pent-up rage and anguish over what happened all those years ago, doesn't he?
Wouldn't you?
Okay.
Just a little.
You?
I mean, I assume that he got it all out in the counseling, but I guess not. He's mad. And they even bring up at the beginning of the film, they didn't want him going into battle because he had once been a Borg. It's there's not a lot of prejudice. There's a little bit of prejudice against him because he was a Borg and led that thing that destroyed a lot of the starships. Remember, but not enough that they would strip him of his command or anything like that. But I don't know. I guess he had to get it out of his system, right? And what Enterprise does he break in the model thing? It's the last one, right?
Yep. D.
Yep.
And thing is, Patrick Stewart was played Ahab in a Moby Dick miniseries on TNT in '98.
He did. I remember that. He was Ahab. In fact, what was interesting, there was always a tradition, right? I think of whoever played Ahab in the previous version would play the preacher in the beginning, giving the send off. And I think they got Gregory Peck to play the preacher because he was Ahab in the prior Moby Dick that was made, I guess a big Hollywood movie. So they would always do that. And I think when Gregory Peck did it, the one who played Ahab beforehand was the preacher. I don't know if it was Edward G. Robinson or whoever it was in the previous version. It's like a tradition when they make Moby Dick. So they were doing another Moby Dick, they'd have to get Patrick Stewart to play the preacher who's or the Quaker sending them off on the voyage. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking it up. Gregory Peck, Father Mapple.
Yep.
Patrick Stewart also did a one-man show of a Christmas Carol back in the day.
Oh, excellent.
Yep. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
He was in a version of Hamlet that also had David Tennant in it. So it was
Really?
kind of like a meeting of the two big science fiction series, Yeah.
What science fiction series is David Tennant from?
Doctor Who.
I was
Harry
being
Potter?
funny. That was
Okay,
funny.
I didn't know if you knew. Not everybody watches it.
I don't watch
There's
it, but I know what he's done.
There was a joke back in the day, like in the 80s, that if you were a Doctor Who fan in the 80s in the United States, the Star Trek fans would beat you up, okay? Like, that's how nerdy it was, okay, to be a Doctor Who fan. It's
I was like the only Star Trek fan in my entire high school, except for one friend. There was 2 Star Trek fans in my entire high school.
Star Trek had enough of a following among the computer literate people in high school, like the ones that were into the computers, trying to explain this thing called the internet to me before I even knew what it was. They would watch Star Trek, okay, and they would play PC games and make fun of my console games, even though I was into consoles, still am, but they would watch Star Trek, and I would try to explain, hey, Babylon 5, hey, Babylon 5, The X-Files, Star Trek. Yeah, TNG ended. Many feel it ended too soon, that they could have gone on for another couple seasons. In fact, I think that was the studio that wanted to end it because they wanted to start doing movies. Because I think the crew were fine doing more seasons. The cast was fine doing more seasons of the show. But, of course, who knows? Maybe they would have continued on too long. So why does Jean-Luc and Dr. Crusher never get together?
They
That was
did
always
in one
teased, never
timeline.
happens. Interesting.
Zootopia says he keeps getting kicked out. He says he can come in for a few minutes and he gets kicked out again.
It's not us. Or well, we think it's not us, at least. I don't know at this point. It's weird.
Huh.
He had to basically do a kind of apology to Worf there, right? I'm thinking, though, they're not going to destroy the Enterprise again, right? They just destroyed it in the last movie, correct? So,
Yep.
they could just destroy an Enterprise each movie. That could be a thing.
Federation's like, Picard, this is getting expensive.
Oh, we're beyond money in the future. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No, it's still... They are and they aren't. They've never been clear about this. Troy could probably clear it up. It's a... Because other species still use money. the Ferengi do.
Oh yeah, Ferengi. Yep.
And even on the old Star Trek, Kirk would mention credits sometimes too. Now, I don't think Starfleet uses money. I don't know what the Earth economy is that they use. I don't know. Okay. Were you wondering what he was wondering when he says, I'm forgetting something? And I'm thinking, oh, is it some vital component? And they're going to have to plug something up when they're in the middle of the fight or they're going to crash? And no, it's
his
Steppenwolf, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's a future mixtape.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's just...
And this song was in the great American film called Team America: World Police.
Really? Okay, cool.
It's the part with the puppets. We're doing the little.
Oh, interesting. I keep thinking, Jordy saying red light, second intake valve. Something's going to go wrong. You know, Jordy's going to have to sacrifice himself to get the. I don't know. No, it's fine. It's fine. I guess there's a reason Zephyr Cochrane made this. He knows what he's doing, right? Okay, so. And this part I like. What do we have here? We have basically kind of a future reference. What do those look like, huh?
Yeah, the warp nacelles on the first Enterprise on the original series.
Uh-huh.
I always wondered, how did they get back?
Like
it'd be funny.
Just land?
I don't know. It'd be funny if they asked them that. How do we get back? Oh, I didn't figure that part out. I was supposed to work on that. No, sorry, I don't know.
He's like, oh crap! I knew I forgot something.
Yeah, I know. Good luck. He's gonna go. He's not gonna leave a man behind. I like the guys on Review Tech. No, sorry, no, not on Red Letter Media. It was Red Letter Media, and they were going. They were very confused by the fact Picard kept dreaming about Data on the show, and they said, "Is the show trying? Are they trying to tell us that Picard is in love with Data?" It's been this thing on this. They're the escape pods.
Mm-hmm.
Can those get fit back on once they're done? I don't know. I guess in some ways, though, the Borg Queen was supposed to be Picard's soulmate, right? Is that what I'm getting from this? Just, I don't. Anyway.
I just sent Zootopia an invite to try to come onto the stream just to see if he can do that. I don't know why he's getting kicked out of the show. That's weird. Here's that Beezer sound effect you were talking about before, Chris P.
Yep.
It's Ron Locutus. Isn't this familiar?
She sounds like a woman that Patrick or Picard broke up with.
I know.
Got dumped by him.
I know. I didn't like your hair or lack thereof because it's all just wires.
I'm sorry. It's not. Yeah, it's not you. It's me. I can't do this anymore.
Now this has me curious. Actually, who wrote the score to Species?
Oh, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
If I had to,
Well, if you hadn't
You know-
asked me, I could have told you.
well, I'm asking now. Who wrote the score? I'm gonna find out. Christopher Young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the alien in that movie is much more attractive than the Borg Queen when she's in uniform.
Her eyes remind me of the replicants in Blade Runner. They got that gold.
They
almost
do.
gold
They
as
do.
tint.
I'm telling you, the replicants in Blade Runner are weird because the ones that don't have the memories, there's something not right about them. Like they know what they are, so it's weird. They don't act like regular people. They try to, but it's not. Doesn't. Just the way they talk is weird. Well,
I wish
you're
Al
just-
hadn't split because I'm sure he had a crush on the Borg Queen.
Big Al.
No, just Al. Al.
Oh, hey, oh, yeah.
There to go. No. I have to admit, I was not. I did not call his bluff. I totally thought this was just Data being stupid again. Okay, this is. Oh, the emotions! I need give me more. Remember when the Borg showed up in that one episode and they were giving him emotions, and it turns out they were working for lore, right? But they were. I thought this is another one of these. You get some woman some woman pays attention to you and you forget about your best mates. Okay, that's what's going on here.
Yeah, Data broke the rule. Bros
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, yes.
He broke the bro code.
Bros before Borg, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. H. Boomer, I will never betray you for a Borg chick. Okay.
Yeah, you say that.
No, I mean it. I mean it.
Uh-huh.
You too, Chris P.
Come on, man. We were gonna go to the dart tournament. No. The Borg Queen wants me to take over Star System. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. Never mind. It's not that funny. Anyway, let's move on. Here we go. And does Zephyrin Cochran really need to see the future starship?
Yeah.
Does he need to see what he's going to give birth to and all this? And it's like, well,
And now
that kind of
this piece right
demotivate
here
him.
was written by Joel Goldsmith, if I read the internet correctly.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And sadly, he died before his father died. He died from cancer.
That's too bad.
Yeah, parents shouldn't outlive their children.
No, that is a tragedy. It can happen though. I had a friend from childhood that died of Hodgkin's. It can happen. Oh, so approaching light speed. I kept thinking, Data, you're going to destroy the future.
You can, well, going back and watch, you can totally pause slightly before he hit the button.
I know. I'm thinking he's weird. He has this weird flesh on his body. It's like, I don't like it. It doesn't match his other skin. And it's like, what? They showed that in the trailer, Resistance.
Yep.
If you remember that?
They did.
I remember that part.
And it was I thought that was, oh no, that's what it is. They set up for you thinking Data's gone over to the dark side, No, that's not what happened. It's just
Yeah, I'm wondering where those 3 torpedoes are going. Are they just going to keep going until they hit something?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll probably just blow up Venus or something, right? I don't know. It's like,
So, some alien flying a ship during his day job just happens to be minding his own business. Gets hit with 3
it'll be
torpedoes.
the first Klingon vessel, right? That'll start the
Yeah.
whole conflict, right? It's like, oh, I hear the humans are a warrior race. What a cowardly act to shoot us without worry. You know, it starts the whole thing.
Yeah, shoot without provocation.
All right. Okay, she gets kind of dusted here. This is the flesh-eating gas or something, whatever that is. Oh,
Yeah.
That's gross.
The special effects are really good in this film. Sir
Yeah.
Ian? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder at what point do special effects just peak?
Well, they're not supposed to peak. They're just supposed to keep getting better. The problem is that a studio thinks they can just throw any kind of computer graphics on screen and it all looks the same. No, it doesn't. You can tell a movie with good computer effects and ones that like Alita Battle Angel that had really good CG in it. Okay, X-Men Origins Wolverine has a Patrick Stewart that doesn't look like Patrick Stewart at the end of it. Okay, it's there's a world of difference. Like the X-Men movies, some of those X-Men movies have some bad CG in them. I still like them, but you can tell that they're not spending the money, even though they're trying to fool us into thinking they are. You know, it's. But yeah, this is ILM, and of course they're probably doing this to prep for Star Wars too. You know, they gotta
practice.
They gotta show they're up to the challenge. So you know.
Yeah, I got some ideas. Let's try them on Star Trek.
Ian, did Joel die after his father? For some reason, I always thought he died before his dad. And I could be completely wrong because I always thought he died before his dad did.
I keep thinking, is there anything at the Borg Queen left in there?
Patrick Stewart has a moment of his old theater acting and starts doing Shakespeare with that skull.
Yes. Oh, you know what? During takes, he was quoting that, right? Like in between, he starts reciting.
Alas, poor Horatio! I knew him well.
Yeah, he's practicing for the Queen's for the performance for the Queen next week or something, right?
Yep.
I keep thinking, Data, that's not really going to do anything to him, right? It's just, hey, you know. Part of me is sorry that she's dead. She'll be back. I guess she's like the Emperor Palpatine. She'll always come back.
You know, like your friend's trying to set you up with someone, and you ask, I don't know what she's like. She's unique.
See, I don't like unique. Unique is me getting stabbed in the chest with an ice pick. Okay, that can be unique too. Okay. I have a question. Why did they have that flesh dissolving stuff to begin with? Were the Borg trying to use that?
Oh, it's a coolant for the warp core.
But it also dissolves flesh. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's like antifreeze. Space antifreeze.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'll buy it. It's fine. It came in handy. Look at this. Who's coming to dinner?
That looks like an X-Files spaceship to me.
Yeah, kind of. Be funny if it was Alf inside.
Alf is like, hey, yo, Earthlings, what's up?
It's just, I don't know if you ever watched the show Enterprise, but when they did the Mirror Universe, they showed this exact scene, and Zephyr Cochrane's there, and the Vulcans land, and the first thing out of his mouth is "Get him!" And they all attack the Vulcans.
Yeah. He, instead of shaking his hand, he shakes it, and then he pulls out the gun and shoots him.
Yes.
And then they just take the Vulcan ship and they use it to conquer other alien races.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like pushes Jordy, like, go get him, Jordy. He's like, you were there too.
I wonder if this part.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, it's Vulcans. Yeah. What?
The music here is probably some of the most hopeful sounding music in any Star Trek film.
Yeah.
I don't know this would be like my favorite cue from the score.
Live long and prosper. He's like one of us. Whenever
I can't do that.
I can, but it took a lot of practice. It's. All right, I'll shake your hand. Okay, that's how we agree.
Now, does this kiss seem kind of forced to anybody?
No, it's like a friendship kiss. It's I think it's all right. It's not like it's like a kissing of the cheek sort of thing. I don't think it's forced. They've been through a lot. I don't know. Maybe every kiss. I'm not gonna be mean. I was gonna say maybe every kiss with Patrick Stewart is for. I'm being mean. Actually, he got some girlfriends on TNG. Remember?
I remember Vash.
Remember Vash? There was the woman who the could play the keyboard. She was a good fit for him. I don't know why they didn't keep her around on the show. That would have been. Remember, Beverly Crusher didn't like her. Remember?
I think Next Generation dropped a lot of balls. Remember the episode where Riker? No, that not like that. That episode where Riker was with that little alien bug child creature.
What?
Because it was like Riker was this little bug creature dude. And,
what are you talking about?
On the Next Generation.
Okay, is this the kid that was pretending to be a human child?
Yeah, but he was like a little bug creature. Yeah,
I'm your son.
And he's like, what's your name? And he's like, blah 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 blah. And he's like, to me, you are John Luke. And they beamed up, and I'm like, what happened to John Luke?
I don't know. That's kind of a sad story. Weren't all his people killed or something? He's like the last of his kind. I don't know. They didn't do a follow up on that. That was a good episode because
imagine if Riker had a little bug creature child for the next 4 seasons. What could have been done?
No,
with
I don't
that?
think he adopts him. I think it's just.
Well, he should have. He should have.
That's just. I'm sure Section 9 dissected him. I'm kidding. I'm being.
Oh God, Boomer!
I'm sorry. We'll take good care of him. And it's like.
Wow, what did I just jump
show.
in on here?
What? Oh,
somebody's dissecting somebody. What
no, I was saying. Do you remember the episode of TNG where Riker wakes up like 10 years in the future, and Picard's an admiral, and he has a son and a wife, and it's all weird, and you have amnesia from the last 10 years, right? And and then it turns out, oh no, it's really the Rock, because Riker's not buying any of this nonsense, and he tells Picard to shut up. He says, I beg your pardon. as in close your mouth
Like,
and stop
shut
talking.
up, close your mouth.
And he noticed Data uses a contraction. He says, "This isn't real." And then and they were going to do a negotiation with the Romulans. So then it turns into a Romulan camp thing that they were trying to extract information. The kid's a prisoner in the camp. Then it turns out, no, that's also a facsimile. There's no Romulan internment camp. It's just the kid was left there by his parents, and they left him this hologramic thing to play with, and he doesn't know where to go, and all of his species are dead. So Riker brings him back up to the ship. And we never see the alien kid again. Okay, and that was the whole point. And then I made a crass joke about how I'm sure he was dissected by Section 9. Okay, but never mind. Okay, just
that makes sense to me.
what?
My point, Zootopia, was he should have been in he should have been a reoccurring character. Riker could have adopted a little bug child creature, and that would have made some good storylines.
They made a point on, I think again, Red Lady made a comment on it, that the kid was too weird looking. The alien was too weird looking even for Star Trek. That's why you never saw him again. I think they alluded to that. Okay.
I always thought Troy was weird looking, but they kept her around.
Okay.
What was weird looking about Troy?
I don't know what he's talking about.
She just struck me as odd. But now Dr. Crusher, yeah, you can give me a physical.
No, it wasn't her.
Day.
It wasn't her looks. It was her accent.
No,
which they said have a Beta Z accent, and they said okay. And then none of the other Beta Zs ever had the accent, and she got annoyed because she had to keep speaking in it to keep consistency. But she didn't understand why they made her speak in the accent, this fake accent. It was this.
I thought she started looking a lot better when she put on the actual uniform. I forget what season that was.
Yeah, it was later on, I think. It was probably the later seasons, yeah. So Zootopia kept getting kicked out, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was it'd be on for 2 minutes, and then it would kick me out for a couple minutes, and then I'd get back on and kick off, and so I just don't know what it is.
We don't know what was going on tonight, but we watched the Star Trek First Contact. Since you're here, any comments on Star Trek First Contact?
I liked the movie. I didn't love it, but it was a fun one, especially since I was so disappointed in the previous one, Generations.
Compared to Generations, yeah. I mean, this is a fun movie. It's a good Star Trek movie. I'll say that much for. And I got to say, much better than anything I've seen since. I think. I mean, I think Insurrection gets a lot of crap. I don't think it's as bad as people say. I mean, there are things I like about Insurrection.
I love F. Murray Abraham in that one.
Yeah,
I think he's great. But no, of the Next Generations film, First Contact is my favorite.
Right.
So it's very rewatchable. It is mostly faithful to the lore, but it just kind of it's very hard to take over for the old crew, who I just have a lot of affection for them.
I think this is the first movie where we see the new crew have to shine on their own, because even in Generations they got to bring Kirk into it, Yeah. So here we finally have to have them carry their own movie, and can they do it? I thought they did pretty good, actually. Except I still don't know why Geordi doesn't have the visor. they don't.
Well, the same reason that they had to destroy the Enterprise D in the first movie is because it just didn't look good on film.
I guess, yeah. I guess. So how about you, Chris P? Any last thoughts on this?
This was fun doing the rewatch. Like Zootopia, this is my favorite of the Next Generation movies. Although if it's the unpopular opinion, I think there's still a place in my heart for Nemesis. I think it's the battle scene at the end between the ships I really like.
Well, maybe we'll get to Nemesis someday. Who did the score to that one?
Jerry Goldsmith.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he did every Next Generation film after this one.
Okay, so he also did Insurrection with F. Murray Abraham.
Yep, sure did.
He was also No, Christopher Plummer was the villain in Star Trek 6, right?
6. Yeah.
I always confuse
General
him
Chang.
with F. Murray Abraham. They're not the same actor. Okay, I always confuse them.
I always remember F. Murray Abraham as Salinari from Amadeus.
Yeah. There you go, Paramount Plus. I watched Star Trek First Contact twice, and I haven't watched season 3 of Discovery at all. So take that as a hint, okay?
That's more than made up for it.
Oh, you're getting bombarded now with like, H Boomer, don't you want to watch Star Trek Discovery?
Oh, whatever. No, I'm sorry. I tried, and I even cut the first season slack. I said TNG had a kind of an off first season, and there's some good things on the first season of Discovery, and then just season 2, and I'm like, no. And of course, now we're learning more things about what was happening behind the scenes, but I'll talk about that more on Sunday. But anyways, okay. What about you, Daniel? Any last thoughts on Insurrection?
I hadn't seen it since the first time I saw it when it was released. I think it holds up extremely well. I do like the film score a lot more than I initially did. I saw it. I didn't give it much thought. I bought the CD. I stuck it in the collection. But I have a much greater appreciation for it now.
Yeah. Plus, it's nice to see Worf kicking some butt.
Yeah. Then Sir Ian says Insurrection was great, I thought, and another fantastic score by Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah. Yeah. And we're doing Insurrection with Chris P in a couple weeks, right, Chris P?
Yep. I got it planned.
Yeah. I just don't know when yet. There will be no show next week. I'm having a procedure on Wednesday. And in case the anesthesia makes me wacky, I just decided it's probably better not to shoot for anything next week. But The following week, we'll pick back up. I just don't know what we'll be picking up with.
All right. Well, we hope you have a successful procedure, whatever that is. And
I'm not doing it, so it should go fine.
Okay. Yes. There you go. All right. But yeah, be well, Daniel. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I draw the line at self-brain surgery and self-dental work. Anything else, I leave it to the pros.
Brain surgery.
Yeah, you just get a mirror and you just, but.
I'm reminded of one of the Saw movies, but we won't talk about that
Yeah,
one here. Okay.
About that.
There's a brain surgery scene in one of the Saw movies. Anyway, I'm telling you though, the Borg Queen, I don't know. She's starting to work her mojo on me, I think, a little bit.
You know what? She could probably pimp out your John Deere.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, yeah. She is slimy though. That's kind of a turn off. I don't know.
And she's got those.
Zootopia,
I'm sorry,
you
like
kept
the
getting kicked
replicants.
out.
Yes.
I'll watch the replay tomorrow, so I can catch everything. But
cool.
Yeah, sometimes the internet gas giveth, and sometimes it taketh away.
Yeah, but no, even on my end, I noticed some things where it was blocking too. It was weird. I don't think I was experiencing the same thing, but I kept getting this weird error message popping up. I'm wondering how that's going to look when we go to see how the stream is after it ends. If that pops up, or if that's just a YouTube glitch. I don't know.
Professor Geek was having buffering issues a while back, and I would get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? I'll catch the replay tomorrow, and it would be fine.
Maybe it's a YouTube issue. I don't know.
Well, just means we get to watch the movie again.
There you go.
But thank you, everyone who stuck through it, or who's catching it later in the future time, or if you go into a time warp, perhaps the past time. Who knows? But thank you for coming as always. I appreciate everyone who shows up. It's always good to see everybody. And Chris P, thank you for making an appearance tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And we'll get Insurrection scheduled here pretty soon. Yeah, thank you. Boomer, you got a show coming up Sunday?
Yep. We may be talking about some Star Trek Discovery stuff that's been making the rounds.
Okay.
So, yeah, behind the scenes stuff that of course, many of you probably already know about. I think Orville Nation of all places discovered it, and they're not really. They try not to dig the dirt on anybody, but it came out. So we'll be talking about it on Sunday. Cool. And
Sir Ian, you get some sleep. It's like what, 3:30 over there, so it's probably bedtime.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
And Zootopia, thanks for popping in. And I was worried that I blocked you or something somehow from the channel. And I was like, I hope I didn't block him somehow. That would be horrible.
I think it's just the way the internet goes sometimes, and then when you're texting me. I for some reason my phone wasn't clicking on StreamYards, and then I was finally able to figure it out to send it to my email and get on from there. Get on my laptop.
I wonder
Cool.
if I'm just having a phone problem. Melissa suggested I might want to do a factory reset. So
Okay. All right.
but I don't know. I don't understand technology. I just watch it. So
Yeah.
but thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it. And adopts, don't shop. Keep listening to great film music. And Chris P's coming back. Age Boomer's always coming back. And Zootopia will be coming back soon. We'll all be coming back. So hey, Addison. But have a good night, everyone, and take care.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.